Hi, I'm Mike Bader with SawdustNewbie.com, and this week is Get Woodworking Week. For something special, I'm going to build something that I built in junior high shop class many years ago, this Knick shelf. The new version will be made from half-inch cherry, and I will have plans available on my blog with a link in the description below. Let's get started. To begin with, we're going to start out with 2 boards of cherry. Each board is long enough for one side and 2 shelves, are about 5 inches wide and 26 inches long. The first thing we're going to do is go to the table saw and cut them to width. Now that they're cut to width, we're going to cut each of the 2 shelves from each of the 2 boards. I've got an auxiliary fence here. I'll put it up against here and send it through the blade. So the next step is to start putting the dados into the sides to accept the shelves, starting with the very bottom shelf, and I'll move the fence over about 3.5 inches so that there's a spacing of about 3 inches between each shelf. So I got my extra fence here so that way I don't bind up with the blade. So now all the dados are cut, I've got the 2 sides taped together. I'm going to cut in a little detail on the bandsaw. Notice the little rounded edge here, and I'm going to clean it up on the sander. The next step is to sand the areas on the knick-knack shelf that we're not going to be able to get to once assembled, so that way we can have a nice smooth finish on those. Now that the sanding is complete, we're going to do the assembly of the main shelf without the back. The back will come later. and clamps. So I'm going to take this into the house and let it sit overnight. I'm going to work on building up the wood for the back. Next time I'm in the shop, we'll show you how the back is made and how we attach that. So now that the glue is dried on the shelf, I can start working on the back. I've already got the back sized. You've seen me do this enough that I didn't need to show you again. First thing I want to do is I've got marked where the hole is going to be for hanging this up. I'm going to use my awl here and just stab that point. Now I'm going to go to the drill press and drill the hole. Here at the drill press, I've got a 1/4 inch Forstner bit. I'm just going to line the workpiece up onto the bit. Once I'm happy with the alignment, I drill my hole. Now we're going to cut out the shape and rough on the bandsaw. Here at the sanding station, I'm going to smooth out those cuts and make it a nice shape. And just as before, we're going to sand this so that it's got a smooth finish, since we can't get to this once it's glued on. Now we're ready to glue the back on. Now that the glue is dry, we have a lot more sanding to do. Here at the sanding station, I'm going to even out the bottom. Now we're just going through here, doing some hand sanding. One thing we want to do, since we really couldn't get around our bit on here, we're going to use sandpaper to break the edges. So a little while longer with the sandpaper and we'll be ready for finish. So now that the sanding is done, we're ready to finish. And a great finish to use during the winter months when you can only keep your shop warm when you're working is shellac, because it dries very, very quickly. I personally like to, if not spring shellac, which not in this case, just use a cotton rag and just start spreading it on. And we'll do this with a couple coats. See that grain just starting to pop out. Normally I like to do boiled linseed oil before I put shellac on, but it's just too cold. Boiled linseed oil likes to take a few days to dry and cure, and that's only if the temperature is warm enough, which I cannot keep the temperature warm enough that long. So we're just going to go with shellac. And we're going to go to fast forward here for a little bit so you can watch this first coat come on. So there it is, ready for your favorite knickknacks. Thank you for watching, and get woodworking.